Kate, I'm just gonna be a co-host. Oh, I guess Liza needs to do that, maybe. And then, oh, she might have made you. And then I know Susan is our guest speaker tonight, so she will have to share her screen um, at some point. But I think Liza may need to do that on her end when she started the call. So I know we normally get started with meditation and just bringing all of us together. But I'm going to actually have Susan do that after we go through all of our education that we love to dive into every Wednesday. So let's get started with that. I am going to share my screen as people jump on, just admit them as we go. So we're just gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna do meditation after education. So share my screen. Where are we? Okay, here we are. Let me get out of there. Oh, not that. All right, I think everyone can see this once we get loaded. All right. It's May Day. Happy May 1st. May Day is Lay Day. I had every intention of wearing a lei and having puas, having flowers all in my hair, and it didn't happen. So just pretend that there's like lots of flowers here. That was my intention. And after all the kids' sports, it just didn't happen today. So, but happy May Day, everyone. I hope you had a beautiful May 1st. I know for all our teacher friends, they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're almost to that finish line. So we are cheering all our teacher friends that are very excited to wrap up May with our kiddos. So we're going to dive into education. And here we are. Here's all our goodness, all the goodies, I should say, for May. And I'm just going to keep going through the slides and kind of take you through what's happening. So if you like this graphic and you want to post it, you want to share it with friends, family, just take a screenshot. I'll wait for a couple of seconds, but this is also in our Facebook builders group that we have going on. So free product, we have a 200 PV order, and what can you get, which is so perfect, right? We are going into summer. I definitely feel it. I turned on my AC for the first time in months last night. I was so hot. I have all the windows open tonight, and just you can feel that, our weather is changing. So doTERRA Sun Body, which is great. If you haven't tried it, I want to say please try it. It's mineral based. It's what we're supposed to be using now, everyone in our ocean, reef safe, and it's 30 SPF. So we love it. It's so easy. The spray is nice. We just did a little staycation last week, and all the boys got sprayed down. Great coverage. It doesn't leave too much of that white, like hue type of thing. And I love the after sun. I mean, there are times that I've been at the baseball field literally from morning 8 a.m. game all the way to like a 4 p.m. game, and I just forget to reapply. And it's the after sun is for everyone. It's not just for those who forget to reapply, but because I have fair skin, my Portuguese, French, and Irish blood will show up, and I will be all of a sudden very red. And the after sun has been remarkable. Like I don't peel. It helps me to get like this just nice tan. My skin is happy, it's hydrated. So I feel like when you share with your friends, family, customers, just let them know your experience with this product and why. Like, why is this different from something I can go get at Target, at Walmart, It's it's natural, it's safe, it's great for our ocean and our kiddos, if you guys have kiddos. So this is really nice. My kids are always in the sun, so this is perfect. What else? All right. So I'm going to start with Terra Shield. So 125 PV order placed between today, May 1st, and the 15th, you will get Terra Shield. And this is perfect. As we know, we are outdoors a lot and camping, fishing, hiking. Oops, I went too quick. Okay, all the things and dog protection. So I don't know if Felicia is on yet, but she is a dog mommy. And before they came out with the Terra Shield spray, I would just make my own. And I would spray the kids and we'd go on hikes, we'd go down to the beach, we'd camp, all the fun things. And it's really great. And it's nice and natural. You don't have to use off. I'm just going to say it. We don't have to use that. Terra Shield does a great job. You can diffuse it if you're doing barbecues in your backyard. And great for kiddos, great for pets. Geranium is our next thing, 10% off. I will be honest, I don't use a ton of geranium, but I did have to dive in a little bit more to just read the great benefits. I'm not a floral girl. I'm definitely more of a woodsy girl. And I know that we have some of our floral people on here, Kate, Kehal, they love all the florals, but geranium is actually really amazing. It's a great oil. So I'm going to just tell you from my book, we just completed our liver cleanse. So it's a great oil to support liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and kidney issues. Bleeding issues. So any cut, scrape, it helps to stop the bleeding. Hormone balance, which we are all women on here. So we love to learn about all the things to support us, our hormones, our PMS rage or grouchiness sometimes. You can massage into your abdomen and take a few drops under your tongue. It's also okay to take in a veggie cap if you prefer to do that. Great for hair. So you can make a spritz bottle and just spritz your hair, rub it into your scalp. It just helps with the oil balance in our hair. And I tend to have more oily hair. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for me. And body odor. So I struggle with, not body odor, but I struggle with deodorant. So I only can use deodorant, the Balance doTERRA deodorant, which I love. But if they're out, or if I'm out, if I didn't order in time, this is something that you can do. You can take some geranium, you can make it in a spritz bottle if you want to. You can just put some in your hand, you can rub it under there, and you should be good to go. So emotional balance is another one. I'm not going to go too much into that. Our guest speaker might talk a little bit about this, just our emotional imbalance. So I'm not going to dive into that, but geranium does support our emotions. Safe to use topically, aromatically, and internally. All right. Yay. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. So I hope you have been too, but the Yarrow Palm Revitalizing Eye Mask. So you see that little crescent moon under here? That's what's gonna go under our eyes. And I love Yarrow Palm. I use it every night. So reduces the fine lines, helps with keeping this hydrated all under our eyes. And for me, just in our family, our Portuguese side, we all tend to have darker circles. And I used to just think I wasn't sleeping enough, but I mean, it has helped with better sleep, don't get me wrong. But I still feel like my sisters and I struggle with a little bit of darkness. So I've been so excited about this. So it's limited time. Get your order in if this is something you're serious about. May is kind of like a self-care month, right? So make sure that you are taking care of yourself and getting these little eye masks. This is something new. I was excited to see this because I have different car diffusers. I actually use my Pilot in my car. I know Liza does too, but this is super cute. It's a Costa Brio car clip diffuser. And it comes with a blend that we have never experienced, not that I can remember at least. And it's while supplies last. So I would definitely get on this. I just placed my order today. So I'm excited. I'm waiting for all of it to come in. And my kids know I'm always diffusing in my car. Car diffuser, if I'm spraying them down with On Guard or just all the things, you know. I'm sure you guys kind of do the same thing. If not with kids, probably your pets or yourselves. You're spraying car oils all in your car. All right. I don't think we have any questions, but I'm definitely going to check the chat and see what we got going on. Okay, everybody's cheering. Yes, it's May Day. And our guest speaker is Susan. I didn't introduce her yet, but she's just sharing that you can use geranium on the arch of your foot for sugar regulation. Geranium and lemon together down regulate the viral load of C19 by 50%. So I feel like she'll probably elaborate a little bit more on that. But thank you so much, Susan. Geranium is supportive for the liver as well. Highly recommended oil for babies. Yes, babies with jaundice. I never had to deal with this, but I know friends have shared with me that they've applied geranium. So very safe for our newborns. Kate's been waiting for that eye mask, and so have I. So I know, Kate, I share the same excitement. All right. So without further ado, we have a guest speaker tonight, and she is a dear, sweet friend. Her name is Susan Varsames, and she is the owner of the Holistic Learning Center of Maui. I see Danielle nodding her head. She has a beautiful place out in Laniapoko, and I recently did a Reiki session with her out there, and it was amazing is not even the correct adjective. Like, I didn't want to leave. It's such a beautiful place. She's in a, just has so much knowledge to share. I'm gonna let her share more, but she's just a phenomenal person, and I'm just so happy to have her with us. And she said yes to do this team call with us. So I am so thankful. Susan, I'm going to turn it over to you, but I will stop sharing so you can share.
Great.
So,
hi, everybody.
Let me see. All right. Do you have sharing capabilities?
Not yet.
Okay.
She does now.
Okay. Perfect.
And now I do. All right. So let's see. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see that. You good? Hi, everybody. So thank you for that great introduction. I'm so grateful. So we're going to tackle a lot tonight. And I am happy to just have you come off of mute and just jump in and ask questions as we go. I'll save a little time at the end. But if you have a burning question, just don't feel like you're being rude. Just pop right in. So we're going to talk about Reiki. And what I love about Reiki is that it is all about vibration, and it's all about energy, and energy needs to move. And one of the most effective things to support your Reiki practice, there are several, but one of them are essential oils. So it's fun to put all of this together. So am I the one that will be admitting people in now? Oh, you guys got that? Okay.
I got it, Susan.
All right, cool.
No worries.
All right, didn't know if you wanted me to take care of that. Okay, so everyone's talking about mindfulness these days. It's like the big buzzword. We've all figured out that multitasking is not a sustainable plan. And even though we thought it was really cool to be able to, like, cook with one hand and nurse a baby with the other while we were reading an email, we all know that now somebody's not going to get full attention and learning doesn't happen and there's no emotional connection and we're kind of over it. So, we've learned that mindfulness is that mental state that you achieve when you're really focusing and you're very aware of the present moment. and you're calmly acknowledging and accepting all of your feelings, your thoughts, every sensation in your body, and it's used as a therapeutic technique. So my favorite mindfulness trifecta is using Reiki with meditation and the use of essential oils. So we're just going to tackle it all tonight. Hope you guys have till midnight. Only kidding. So first, I just want to talk about self-regulation. We have an emotional regulation system that is supposed to respond to little problems with a little response and huge problems with a fight or flight, huge response. But many people are so burnt out that they're not regulating efficiently. So how many of you have a child or know someone in your family that goes from 0 to 60 in a megasecond? Right? You understand how that's going on? Yeah. And so for us to be able to treat a little paper cut differently than our finger being cut off, we have to be able to take in stimulation and really make sense of it and say, what does it mean? Now, if you're in the shower and you smell something burning, what's the difference between, oh, my darling is making me some toast, and oh shit, the house is going to burn down. I got to run out naked, right? And meanwhile, you just smelled something burning, but there is a big difference between how your receptors take in, ooh, yummy toast versus, uh-oh, emergency. And so this is something that is of huge concern to me. I work with a lot of children on the spectrum and kids who are poorly regulated, and it's a huge issue, and it's really getting in the way of productivity in school and ability to have a job and an ability to interview and not be nervous and show your talents, etc. So when we're working on self-regulation, we really think about take 3 steps. Step 1 is we take in information from our senses. Step 2 is that we sort of make sense of it. We focus, we process, we file it, and we store it and categorize it so it goes into our memory so that we can do the adaptive response, which is the step 3, which is to follow up and show that you know what you're doing and that you've learned. So if you say to your child, it's time to go to baseball practice, go get your shoes, that's auditory information. Did they hear you? Did you say get your shoes? Did you say sing the blues? Like, what am I supposed to do? So step 1 is that's an auditory task. Did you hear it efficiently? Step 2 is, can you put that into your mind and know what that means? It means ignore the Tonka truck on the staircase. It means ignore the dog in your face. It means get your shoes and get to the car. We're going to baseball. So step 3 is that adaptive response. With a lot of us, that becomes the problem, especially if we have pain in our body, if we have a physical issue. It might be like, oh, well, do 20 push-ups. Well, I know what that means and I understand it and I can think about what it feels like to do that, but maybe my body can't do that. That's the step 3 issue. So what we try to do when we're working on self-regulation is we analyze and say, where is the problem? Did you smell it correctly, hear it correctly, touch it correctly, process what's being given to us, make sense of it, and were you even paying attention? How many of you have ever gone like this on your wrist and been like, oh God, I'm not even wearing a watch, right? Or you go like this and you are wearing a watch and you're like, yeah, I have no idea what time it is, like no clue, right? And it's not because you have a visual problem or you need to run to the eye doctor, but it's a step 2 issue. You didn't focus and pay attention. And that's how we move through our world. I mean, if you're in a hurry and you walk into a Starbucks because you want a coffee and you see the line is 2 people long and it's like that really quick women working there, you're like, all right, I'm in. If you see the line's 10 people long and they're training someone and same stimulus, but you're like, yeah, I'm out. I'll never make it. So we're making these judgment calls, these adaptive responses all day long, rapid fire, quick, quick, quick. And there are a lot of challenges in doing it correctly. One of the big ones is being exhausted from things like stress, maybe emotional abuse or work stress or financial stress, having to pay bills, maybe too much workload, too much screen use, pollution in your home, pollution in the environment and the water, additives to things that we put in our medicines and vaccines, et cetera. Another challenge is just being overwhelmed with multitasking. As I said, we know that that is not sustainable, and that we've been thinking multitasking was cool for about 10 years, and all the research now shows, yeah, no good. Like you're missing out on the quality of time and the emotional connection. You're not getting information into the memory system, etc. And a big one is not having the proper nutrition and getting the nutrition from the gut to the brain. Everybody thinks, oh, you are what you eat, but in fact, you are what you absorb. And so that's another big factor in how do we process information and be able to be mindful about things. We may have an addiction or compulsive behavior or using toxins that are getting in the way of our neurological functioning and our brain functioning. That's another huge issue. Or it could be a disability or a diagnosis like ADD, ADHD, depression, cancer, whatever it might be, autism. And all of those things interfere with sensory processing. So we're going to shift now and talk about the Japanese practice of Reiki. So Rei and Ki, two Japanese words that mean universal light energy. And when we're studying Reiki, there are 3 levels of providers. The level 1 is the self-care. That is a practice that you do for yourself and your family and friends and your pets, maybe your plants and your food, where you learn how to balance your energy system to be as vital and vibrant and together as your body can be. The level 2 people are practitioners. That's when you take the 2nd level class. If you're studying under me, after every class, I don't give a certificate, but you have 30 practice hours to really understand it and a bibliography. And you have a year to do that with unlimited support. So by the time you get to level 2 and you're a practitioner, you can get insurance and become a provider and have a job opportunity for yourself. And then the master level is where you're teaching and giving attunements and you're able to, run classes, etc. So this all comes from Master Usui, who was a Japanese man who then spread the word throughout Japan, and then to Madame Takata, who was actually the first American on Kauai, who then brought it to the United States. And part of what he learned when he went to Mount Karuna to do this meditation, where all of this download came to him from his source, was something called precepts. And precepts are similar to commandments. And a lot of other people have followed these precepts because they all begin with just for today. So if you know anyone that's involved in AA, very much that concept of just for today, just for today. I want to take one chunk at a time. And the precepts in the Reiki world have to do with living a pure life that opens up your vibration and helps you to ascend in the states of consciousness. And so, for example, one of them is just for today, I will be kind to all living things. Like, really? Can you do that? You're not going to step on the centipede that's coming across your lanai, like all living things. Or one of them is just for today, I will let go of worry. That could be really hard for people. I grew up in an immigrant family where worrying about somebody was like how you love them. And my mother would say, you're going to go out like that, you're going to get raped. Oh, you're going to wear that, you're going to get pneumonia. It was always this fear. And that was like definition of love. And so to think about like, just for today, I will not worry, like, wow, what does that really mean? And that means you're really like doing the let go, let God, and really trusting in a higher power that everything that happens in the world is for your highest good. And the other big part of Reiki is the concept of chakras. And so we'll dig into that. These are centers, energy centers along the midline of the body, and chakra in Sanskrit means spinning wheel. So there's these circular conal vortices of energy that start real narrow, like the point of an ice cream cone, and get wider as it goes further away from the body. And each one of them gives the vitality to organs and the emotion that are connected to the organ. So we're not going to even try to tackle this tonight, but I'll just give you an example. One thing that you may or may not know is that fear vibrates within the kidneys. And so people who have significant kidney issues often are stuck in fear. Okay, so like my mother, who was like a fear freak, she was better than anybody at being afraid of everything. Every sentence was like, I'm afraid that, I'm afraid that you're going to get hit by a car, you're going to get pneumonia, why you did it, all this fear, and ends up with a diagnosis of renal cell carcinoma and passes away of cancer quite young. Not unheard of. And I'm sure you know people who have had heart attacks where they're heartbroken over emotional relationships, and then that chakra, that heart chakra, is not getting the vitality and the vibration, and then a medical problem follows along with it. So the one thing we need to know about energy, right? The old E equals MC squared basically means energy has to move. It's vibration and movement that keeps us really vital. And so each chakra has a color in the center. And what I mean by a color is that they vibrate at the same vibration of the corresponding colors. So we'll go through that. It's an easy thing to sort of attach to as you're learning it. And it's like a good beginner way to learn it. But what else do we know that has very specific and supportive vibrational frequencies? Plants, right? Our essential oils that are extracted from plants. So how many of you are familiar in the doTERRA world here with what's called the health line? Give me a little thumbs up if you know what the health line is. No, not really. All right, we'll do this quickly. So basically, our body, every organ has a vibration, but 65 vibration means like you're just okay. You could get the common cold any minute, but you're not. You might have a dull headache, but you don't. You're kind of in that place where you're just hanging in there. Okay. When you vibrate higher than 65, your immune system cranks up. That's where you have a really difficult time getting sick. And when you vibrate really, really high, way up in the high hundreds, that's when you're able to do things like meditate and be creative and, write poetry and take a recipe and then make it your own and do all kinds of cool things. All of that higher vibrational cortical processing in your brain comes with higher vibration. If you're below 65 and you're hanging out in the high 50s, low 60s, you're always getting a cold, you're always getting a cough, you're allergic to everything, you're really struggling. And something like cancer and heart disease does very, very well when the vibration is down at about 40. That's when you have a diagnosis, you're sick, you're on medications, you've been hospitalized, like that kind of thing. And you actively start dying when your vibration gets below 30. So doTERRA crew, your job is get them above 65. Start with lavender, drop oils all over the place. Like, Kanani said, in the car, in the sports bag, the stinky this, the sick that. Just keep dropping oils and keep that vibration high. So I encourage you to grab an oil now. Because we're going to do Reiki and meditation, I'm pulling up the Shinyin Roku. And I have it in a roller ball. So I'm going to put it on my wrists. I'm also going to put it in my hands. And for those of you that are dropping an oil from a bottle, in case you don't know this, you should be dropping the oil in your non-dominant hand. So I'm a righty. So I would put my left hand out. I would put a couple of drops in, and then I take my peace fingers and I make a clockwise circle. That's how the DNA rotates in your body. And so it will move nicely. You get that going, then your hands, and then over the nose. And you kind of want to get that little double inhale and really get it in there. And you start to feel that olfactory bulb go, ooh, okay, cool. And then it delivers it to the limbic system, which is right behind it. And it will connect to the parts of the brain that will happily deliver it to where it needs to go. So all of the literature on this is like teeny tiny print, but I just wanted to throw this in here. You can go and look on your own about the essential oil frequencies. So for example, there's your oils that are for your brain. your brain vibrates at 78.3. So doTERRA knows that. They have that in their lab. They know that fact. So they're going to give you an oil that vibrates at that frequency to support it. So when we want to support something like brain functioning that vibrates at 78.3, we're going to use an oil for that. So just somebody come off speaker, tell me a name of a doTERRA oil that you might use for studying, for paying attention.
Rosemary.
Rosemary. So rosemary is perfect because the just like the cannabinoid system, rosemary completely connects in to the receptors of the brain for memory. So if your brain's going like this, I really need a memory partner, anybody around here? And you give it lavender. Lavender is like, yeah, I'll make you relax, but yeah, no, I'm not a learning oil. Okay, so how about lemon? Lemon's like, yeah, I'll make you really excited and happy and alert, but yeah, that's not it. And then rosemary comes along and goes boom, and it literally connects those neurofibers to bring what you're learning into the memory system. So that's how it works. We inhale it, and then the olfactory system delivers it to the limbic system, and the limbic system then starts to send it around going, I got your puzzle piece, who's looking for it? And then it comes together, and that's the magic of the results that we get from essential oils. Make sense? But if I have strep throat, guess what? I don't want to support strep throat. If I have a breast tumor, I don't want to support that. So I'm not going to give the same vibrational frequency. I'm going to use what's called an inverse frequency. So all of the oils have frequencies, and in the world of color and in the world of music and tones, we always think we have like 8 notes on the piano because it's an octave, but we forget about the black keys. There's really 12, right? So think, because you know what 12 feels like on a clock, think about a clock with the 12 numbers. If strep throat vibrates down here, you want the inverse frequency. So if strep is vibrating down at 6 o'clock, you want an oil that's an anti, right? An inverse frequency to squash it and negate it. Okay, who have anybody know the Bose noise canceling headphones? Right? So that they have batteries, right? So your neighbor's got a leaf blower going, you're trying to listen to, whatever, Ziggy Marley, and there's a leaf blower going on out there. So the battery picks up on the vibration of the leaf blower. I don't know what it is. Let's pretend it's 2000. It shoots back the inverse frequency, because what's 2000 minus 2000? 0. Canceling. So that's why it's noise canceling. And you could see the person with the leaf blower doing their thing, but you don't hear it because we've canceled that vibration. That's what your antis are. Your antiviral, your anti-inflammatories, your antibacterials, your On Guard, your Copaiba. Those are the antis. They function at the inverse frequency, and that's how we cancel out and we move toward wellness. Okay, do you guys know this already? Is this like new information for you?
This
Okay,
is awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome. So do you guys all know about PubMed? Not Club Med. Don't get excited here. PubMed. So PubMed is a publication that you can look up anything. So you go in there and you're like, COVID essential oils, and it says use lemon and geranium to downregulate it by 50%. Here's your study. You go in there and you say cancer with the word frankincense, and you're going to see articles out the wazoo of all of these different randomized clinical trials. Let me see if I could scroll with this. I can't, but okay, let me go back. I was hoping when I made it, I was able to scroll within this. Nope, not letting me do it when I share. Anyway, but you can see how there, if you just go into any PubMed search and put in essential oils, high blood pressure, or whatever, you'll see the study to show you the double-blind randomized clinical trial studies, like the real deal, the real science, that and it's put out by the NIH. Like, they know this stuff, except big pharma doesn't really follow it, which, they don't want the vibration to be a complete inverse, because then they'd make no money. So they get you close, they get you a little bit better, but the essential oils will be the noise canceling, so to speak. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to now shift to our chakra system. But before we do, pull yourself off of mute. If you have any questions, we could take it just so that before we move on, you kind of understand where we're going here and what we've done so far. Anybody have any questions? All good?
I'm just reading the chat real quick. Everyone is just loving the information, and we've heard it, but like Liza said, that it's just having us go deeper. So we are very appreciative.
Yeah, sure. And like stop me if it's like irrelevant for you, but I think it's important because you're educating others. I mean, I don't think anybody here who has a team under them considers themselves a salesperson. They consider themselves an educator and a support to your friends and family. So the more you know, the more, it makes sense, especially with your adolescents that are like, I don't want that. I don't want that smelly stuff in my soccer bag. And you're like, then when you explain it, it makes a whole lot more sense. So we're going to shift now and we're going to talk about the chakras. So we're going to go from the bottom up in midline. So the first chakra is called the root chakra, and that vibrates at the same vibration as the color red. So when we do our meditation, I'm going to walk you through visualizing red. You're going to place your hands on your root chakra, which is way down low at the top of your thighs. And you'll imagine inhaling red into this area. And the kinds of mantras that I'll walk you through may be a little different. I make them up as I go, but this is the chakra that tells me I am safe, I am grounded, I've got a team, I'm financially secure, I've got a wingman, so to speak, like I'm not in this world alone. And this is why when people lose their jobs or are financially insecure, they'll often have sciatica nerve issues because that's the area that needs that where the energy is not moving, it's going to wear down on that sciatic nerve. Okay, so that's the root chakra, the one at the very bottom. And then where your reproductive organs are is the second chakra called the sacral chakra. And this vibrates at the same color as orange. So if you put your hands there and inhale orange into this area, you can be thinking about how creative you are. This isn't just about being comfortable with your sexuality and creating babies. It's also the creativity for like a new recipe, new ideas, new ways of working. Or like, do you ever stand in the supermarket and you're looking around like there's all this beautiful food around you and you're just like, I don't know what to cook. I don't know what I'm making tonight. Like you're just lacking creativity. And often you're having low back issues, period cramps, like it's all in that same chakra. So when that chakra isn't vital, your creativity will take a hit. And then the third one is right by the belly button. And that's the third chakra called the solar plexus that vibrates at the same color as the frequency as the color yellow. And so when we place our hands there, this is your personal power. This is your gut feeling. This is when you can just shoot a look across the room and you know that person's not a good friend for your kid, or you know that woman at the party is got some bad intentions going on, or whatever it is. When your gut just tells you, that's your root chakra. And oftentimes when that's activated, if you're upset, that's when you can't eat. You lose your appetite. It's all tight. This is where we have all kinds of digestive issues and irritable bowel syndrome and, all of that. So the next one after that is the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And this vibrates at the same frequency as the color green. And this is all about, I have love in my heart. I can give love. I can receive love. I understand unconditional love. And so we're going to give a lot of gratitude to all of the love in our life when we get to that fourth chakra. And then just above that is the throat chakra. And this one vibrates as the same as the color blue. So some people are not comfortable putting their hands on their throat like this. You can have your hands away from it. You could put one in front and one in back. You can even put one on your chin if you don't want to touch your throat. As a provider, I always teach people to go off the throat because anyone who has had anyone choke them or has had sexual abuse will often have sensitivities and will get triggered by having your hands on the throat. So, but this is all about I can communicate my needs. I can speak my truth. I speak honestly. I say what I mean. So like I'm not like what is the purpose of me talking to you right now? It's not because I want to sell you a Reiki class. I'm not like pushing a class here. I'm educating. I'm connecting your knowledge of oils and vibration with things that could be great for your self-care, because essential oils are such a huge part of your self-care. So that I hope that you hear my words that are in alignment with my purpose. Right? If I was like, oh, and you got to buy this oil and it's $14.99 and you get one free if da, 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 that would be like, okay, so she's a salesperson. And so your throat chakra isn't about just I can speak freely, I can speak my truth. It's also, am I speaking that in a way that's congruent with my intention? How is my heart and my throat working together here? Right? What do I have going on in my gut? Am I expressing that? How is my gut chakra, my solar plexus working together with my throat, etc.? So these chakras don't work in isolation. I give you these examples so you understand that they work together. And then the other part is, can I, quote, swallow what's being told to me? Did you ever get to a place where somebody's telling you they want to break up, or a doctor giving you a horrible diagnosis and you feel your throat close and you can't, like, you just can't take it in, right? So many times if I have a client that says, I have constant throat issues, and I tell them this, I had one guy say, oh, that makes perfect sense why I always have throat polyps and I'm always clearing my throat. I'm a pathological liar. He's like, I got fired 2 years ago and I just get to go to work every day. I tell my wife I'm going to work. I grab a briefcase and I go out the door. I haven't even told her yet. I'm involved in betting and I'm bringing home money through betting, but I haven't worked. And she calls my secretary and she forwards the messages to me. And I'm like, no wonder why your throat chakra is on fire, right? Because he's unable to speak his truth. So this is how the chakra discrepancies turn into health issues down the road when we don't take care of them. The sixth chakra is called the third eye. It's right here in the center of the forehead. It vibrates at the same frequency as the color purple. And this is where your cognition, your memory, your ability to learn, all of your intelligence, feeling smart, feeling capable and able to do your job, all resides here. Okay. Your imagination, your creativity, and the beginnings of your connection to your past loved ones. And then, the icing on the cake is the seventh chakra, the crown chakra. Often in pictures, you'll see it as a lotus, opening up. So out of the mud comes the beautiful flower. And this is either indigo or very, very bright white light. And this is where you connect to your spirituality, you're connecting to your angels, you feel your past loved ones, around you, etc. So there's the colors once again. And as we do our breathing, we're going to move into our meditation now. And I actually need to go to a plug because I've been sitting outside today with my computer. So I'm going to go plug in, but we're going to be practicing mindful breathing. And when I work with children, I often say, smell the flowers, blow the candle, smell the flowers, blow the candle, because they're not understanding the words inhale and exhale. So if you're just working with kids, or working in a classroom with kindergarteners or whatever, just be sure to use language that makes sense for them. Okay? So we are ready to meditate. I'm going to go plug in, carry my computer inside while you find a space to get comfortable. If you're wearing shoes, kick them off. If you're sitting up, get reclined and just get super, super comfortable. And I'll be back in a minute. Everybody good? Okay. Okay, I hope you're all comfortable and cozy. I'm going to plug in so I don't lose you guys. And just get your breathing going really slowly. Listen to your exhales. And if you get distracted, just focus on listening to the sound of your breath. We're going to begin by placing our hands on our root chakra. Your eyes are closed. You're inhaling and imagining the color red. This is the chakra of feeling safe and secure. So send the vibrational frequency of the oil on your hands and your thoughts of gratitude to this chakra. Gratitude for the roof over your head, the food in your refrigerator, the people that are your backup team, your tribe, and just send love to yourself and to anyone that comes to mind when you think about, I am safe. I am cared for. I have everything I need. And on your next inhale, move your hands to your reproductive area, that sacral chakra. This vibrates at the color orange. So imagine inhaling orange and sending it to your hands and to all of your reproductive organs. Giving gratitude for your cycles, for being a woman, for being able to produce children, for the creativity that you have in your everyday life, how you accessorize your outfits, how you create beautiful meals. Every time you need to think of a brand new novel thought with creativity, it's coming from the energy in this space. Just send love and gratitude as you inhale that color orange. And on your next inhale, place your hands right over your belly. Perhaps you're kind of making a little heart around your belly button. And inhaling the color yellow. This is your personal power, and it's also your digestion, but not just digesting food. It's discernment. What am I taking into my body because it's for my highest good? And what am I getting rid of or bidding farewell to because it just no longer serves me? So think about those things. What are you doing? What practice do you have? Because it serves you and it increases your vibrational capacity for health and vitality. Give that gratitude. And with ease and grace, bid farewell to anything that no longer serves you. It could be a habit, a job, a relationship, a food. On your next inhale, we'll begin to move to the higher chakras, placing your hands over your heart and inhaling the brightest green you can imagine. Inhale that into your heart, the back of your heart, all of the chambers. And giving gratitude to the unconditional love that's been given to you throughout your whole lifetime, and for all the love that you have given to others. I give and receive love. I overcome any obstacles that interfere with my ability for absolute, pure, unconditional love. And on your next inhale, placing your hands in any way around your throat that's comfortable for you, remembering that the throat chakra vibrates at the same color as the brightest blue you can imagine. Inhale that blue into your hands. By now, you might feel warmth and tingling, bringing in that universal light from heaven and earth, and focusing on the specific blue vibration of the throat. Give gratitude for being able to speak your truth, for being able to take in and understand what you're told. Again, like swallowing that information. And for having a beautiful and perfect alignment from what you say and what your intention is. And on your next inhale, you can move your hands to your third eye. Inhaling the most beautiful indigo you can imagine. That purpley, swirly indigo. Giving gratitude for your cognitive capacity, your IQ, your ability to learn, take in new information, make sense of it all. To remember give gratitude for your intuition. I have wisdom. I've moved beyond intelligence, and with years of practice have moved to wisdom. And on your next inhale, placing your hands at the top of your head, and just imagine golden, so bright, it's like almost white, golden light coming from heaven. And just pouring in through the crown, warming your entire brain, your pineal gland. And send some love and light and gratitude to someone that you love that has passed from our physical world. This is the chakra that mediums work very hard with to keep the vibration very, very high so that it can easily connect with the spirit world. And on your next inhale, move your hands to any place in your body right now that you feel is calling for your attention. You can even put one hand on one chakra and one on another, and think about how they harmonize. And I'll just be quiet for a minute while you imagine that corresponding color. And just imagine the energy field that you've just created around your body, this high vibration filled with the vision of the vibrational colors, filled with the aromas of your essential oils. And when you're ready, bring your hands out to your sides and then up and over your head, gathering all of the energy around you, palms together. Bringing your thumbs down to your forehead, giving gratitude for clear thought. And your thumbs to your lips, and giving gratitude for clear words and communication coming from your throat. And finally to your heart, giving gratitude for self-love and self-care. And gradually open your eyes. Give yourself a hug. Put your cameras back on. We could see who fell asleep and who's tucked under the covers. So take yourself off mute. Tell me how you're doing. What did that feel like?
I'll go. I mean, I feel like other people should go because Susan and I talk often, but oh, so good. So good. And to experience it on Zoom, right? I just didn't think I'd get the same feeling on Zoom, but I'm so grateful and thankful. And I just feel
Oh,
like this weight kind of has been lifted, but I'll let other people share. Thank you.
yeah, please do. I want to hear. Did anyone have like a headache or a throat thing or anything that feels like it got resolved? No? Anybody feel like their vision is a little clearer?
I'll go. But right as I finished, so we came to the end and we were grabbing all that energy, my dog came up to me and like he kind of scared me because he's done some, he looks scary sometimes, but and I'm like, what is it? Like, I mean, I swear, I'm like, could you see it? And he came up and he kissed me. It's like licking my face, real stuff. But, animals are so much more in tune than us. And I can't fully describe all of the things and all of the words that you used tonight. I saw my holistic chiropractor today because I've been going through um just a lot. April was a lot for me. And May is just a hard month for me sometimes. So the all same language and words and everything that like we spoke about today were included in this tonight, and it was just like I'm shaky. Like it was like everything I needed, like
No.
and more. I can't. like fully, you know, but so many things, just all of the, you just spoke to my heart today. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, there's an old saying that says you should meditate for an hour a day unless you're too busy. And then you should meditate for 2 hours a day. Because the bottom line is, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? And
Yeah, that's exactly what I tell people.
yeah.
Those exact words, like everything, like you have, like, yeah, like it was just, and I jumped on late. Kanani texted me. I missed last week's call, like one of the first call in years, and then I jumped on late. I jumped on at 8:30, and I just caught, like, it was like perfect. I mean, it was just more than I could just thank you.
Well, this is being recorded, and you certainly have my permission to spread it around and to use it within your group for anything that could help you, and if you're interested, I have a 9-minute version of that on an audio, and I can send that to Kanani and she could, send it out to your cell phones and stuff. It's a good thing, you could put it on the plane or when you're waiting at a doctor's office or something or at bedtime. So what questions do you have for me? I mean, one of the questions I have for you is, are you feeling that you're understanding the vibrational frequency and how Reiki meditation and essential oils are such an amazing trifecta for your self-healing? Like, did that come across to you? Do you have questions about that?
Well, we always had our emotional book, right? Where we tied our emotions to the oils. And so I was always trying to verbalize, well, how do we tangibly measure this? Like, it's still a little gray when I'm talking to customers about it without me being too woo-woo. But as soon as I saw your frequency hertz measure for each, I feel like we just keep evolving collectively to fine tune the science meeting the spirit. And now it's like we're getting people that are stuck in their left brain and are disconnected from their hearts. Now they can't deny it. They're like, well, wait a second.
Yeah.
And then that's the entry point then now where I'm able to connect more with people that are stuck in their brain, Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I love being a science geek. I have a real passionate edge for learning about the brain, and I always felt like I'm like a wannabe neurologist. I always want to learn about that kind of thing. And when I first started studying the power of botanicals, first I thought I was cool because I was using homeopathy and herbs. I was like, oh, I am on top of my holistic game here. And essential oils blow those out of the water. I mean, you can do a Google search on the vibrational frequency comparison of things like canned food, vegetables versus frozen versus fresh versus picked immediately versus homeopathy. And the one that's number one is essential oils. And when you extract from a plant, and then when you take that extraction and you deliver it into the olfactory system, which connects to the limbic system that kind of gets the two things going, like we said, memory, rosemary, boom, it's like right there, breast cancer, frankincense, boom, like done. When I first moved to Maui, I was so upset with the reefs that I started a reef safe sunscreen company called Mama Kuleana, and I've since sold it. But I put frankincense in the sunscreen because of its powerful anti-skin cancer properties. And I float people in the water when I work, so I'm outside a lot. I do have a table and a massage table in an office, but I do most of my work outside. And I have to use frankincense on my face every day. I would definitely be, dealing with skin cancer and at the dermatologist twice a year. So, if once you understand the science of this, and that's why I encourage you to go to PubMed. And when you look up those things and you put in just the word essential oils with anything you want, heart disease, sugar regulation, diabetes, skin cancer, breast cancer, whatever it is, you'll see all of the studies. And these are studies done that are funded by the NIH. This isn't like woo-woo wackadoodle sitting in the back of the van, with a joint hanging out of their mouth. This is like NIH research. It's like really solid. So it really takes what you said, Danielle, the woo-woo out of it when you can, show a double-blinded study like that.
Susan, can you share with us before we wrap the things up about the upcoming retreat, unless it's sold out, I don't know, and then possible Reiki certification, because I feel like we might be interested in going further with Reiki.
Yes. So the retreat, the Reiki part of the retreat is sold out, but I do teach Reiki level 1 all the time, like 3 times a year. And then those students do their 30 hours of practice, and then they sit for Reiki 2 if they want to become a practitioner. So that is all on my website at holisticlearningscenterofmaui.com, and you can see the different dates. And I also take a lot of the classes and I record them so I can just send them out to people all around the world. But it would be so fun to just do it together, if you want to come for Reiki 1. My feeling is if you're going to do anything for yourself in terms of I have to be solid, I have to be strong because I am the captain of the ship, and I'm like dealing with these kids or dealing with this job or, all the multitasking women thing, Reiki level 1 is like a must. It'll put you on the road to that calm. There's a vocabulary word that a lot of people in Hawaii don't use, but called equanimity. And equanimity means that you're the calm in the storm. So everything, the shit's hitting the fan from all sides, and you're the one that's like, okay, I've got this. I'm focused. I know just what to do. And going back to those slides about sensory integration, it's because you can take in the information with ease and grace and with calm, and you understand the energy of it. You know where it's coming from. So if someone is screaming at you, you don't take it personally. You're like, oh God, that boss of mine and his root chakra, and you understand where it's coming from. So I love teaching Reiki 1. And if you guys want to get together and do something, over the summer or before school starts or whatever, it's always a weird time of the year to try to do things with everything that's going on in May. But I'm happy to do something for your group or to include you in the community stuff that I do.
That would be great. I was just brainstorming in my mind that we would love to have you back and maybe do like a Reiki session all together to get to.
Yeah.
So we'll talk
Yep.
more. So
That
I really
sounds amazing. So, I know you all know the word namaste, but as you bring your hands together in closing, namaste really means that I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. And I honor the place in you, which is full of light and truth and love and peace, because when you're in that place, I am in that place. And in the highest form of enlightenment, that's when we realize the concept of we are one. So I send you namaste and gratitude. And I look forward to connecting with all of you at another time.
Can we get a picture before we hop off? Is that okay? Can we do like a quick
Of course.
photo? All right.
I'm going to stop my share.
Okay, if you're able to, can you turn your cameras on? All right. I'm horrible at this, but I'm going to try and be a part of it. All right, everyone. Cheese. Thank you so much. Thank you, Susan. I love and appreciate everything. Thank you for being up late for us. We truly appreciate it. Thank you, Essential Island Living team, for showing up for your team call, showing up for yourselves, your business, and just growing together. Have a beautiful week. Happy May. And let's just share the love, share our knowledge. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Aloha. Good night.
Thank you.
Mahalo.